wisdom teachers, gentle healers, and bold leaders of our global awakening. Welcome to the Joshua Jordan Experience. Listen to gather mystical insights for an extraordinary life. Hello, my beautiful friends. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to a Jordan stream of consciousness presentation and then Joshua's message to you. The other day, a friend and I were talking about consciousness and about physical matter. So I like to share some of those thoughts with you just because he found it interesting, so others might too. First of all, I know that I often use the term conscious awareness. So I am tying together the fact that consciousness is present always and awareness is present some of the time. So when I refer to conscious awareness, I'm talking about what can be conscious in the mind. Now, consciousness and mind have some similar characteristics, and yet they are not identical. Joshua tells me that consciousness is at the root, is the source that creates the atoms that make up everything we know of. The building, the furniture, the people, and your body. All are made of consciousness. Now, in the walls of the building, does that consciousness have awareness? Joshua says yes, but not the type of mental awareness that humans experience. You're not having a mind. The wall of the building itself does not have a mind, but the atoms that make up the wall of the building are consciously aware of what role they are playing in the physical world. That is a conscious knowing. It is not a mental thought. The wall is not cognitively aware of its presence. The atoms within it are conscious. So, mind then has to do with thought processes, cognition, the ability to reason, judge, analyze, and so the mind has what some people think are greater capabilities than consciousness, but Joshua turns it around the other way. You know, in psychology, they think that mind is more capable than consciousness. But when you think that consciousness creates everything that exists, I would say consciousness is much more capable than mind. So, my mind is consciously aware of certain things in certain moments, and I really cannot be consciously aware of everything all the time. My conscious awareness, my mind, is not able to grasp all that is, while my consciousness is. My consciousness is existing in a state where it is completely and totally aware of my surroundings, even when might be focused on watching an athlete perform or something, and my conscious awareness is starting to screen out things that are in my environment. But my consciousness is always aware. So conscious awareness exists in a state that I believe, goes beyond mental conscious awareness. So the mind is highly capable. The mind has a great deal of ability to interact with the world we have imagined, the world we have created. So let's talk a little bit about the physical matter in which we operate. We created the source of all that is, which we are a part of, created all that we know of. And that includes a dimension of physical existence. The dimension of physical existence has rules of physics that rule what happens here. No matter how much my mind tells me I can fly, if I step off the roof, I will fall. That is gravity. That is a physical property of being in the physical body. And yet, the force of gravity, we don't know what creates that. Guess what? Joshua says consciousness is the source of gravity. However, science has not come to that conclusion yet. Also, there are other physics that dominate how matter can operate in this 3D world we exist in. However, under close examination, and scientists have proven this, that what we think is solid matter really exists in a lot of space, has a lot of space within it. I think in one other video I shared with you this understanding so that you can imagine how much space exists within an atom. The most prevalent atom in our cosmos is hydrogen. Hydrogen has one proton, one nucleus, if you will, and one electron circling at light speed, by the way. And they have actually discovered that an electron is less like a physical particle and more like an energy wave. It only exists when they try to pinpoint it. Other than that, it's moving at the speed of light. So it's more like a wave. Anyway, so you take this hydrogen atom now, and I want you to take the most prevalent microscopic subatomic atom here called hydrogen, and then blow it up to the size where the nucleus would be a tennis ball, right? So you have a nucleus the size of a tennis ball, and guess where that electron is? 4 miles away. 4 miles away, that electron circling at light speed. So imagine how much space there is in an atom. And the most prevalent atom is hydrogen. But all the atoms that come together to make up this physical material that we interact with, including our physical bodies, is more space than solid. However, our physical eyes do not detect the space. All we see is the solid matter. We see something, I can't pierce through that. That's solid. And my eyes tell me it's real and it's solid. And my senses, my 5 senses tell me how real everything is here. And yet, the truth is, there's a lot of empty space in which your conscious awareness exists, in which your cognitive mind exists, so that you can have your mental, emotional experiences, you can have memories, and you can believe that you are living in time as a solid thing. You know, it's all created for us perfectly. It's a gift to us to have the physical dimension of reality. Joshua tells me actually we love it here. We love the physical dimension of reality because it is so fixed. And therefore, we don't have to recreate our experience in reality every moment. Every morning when you awaken, you don't have to recreate where you live, what's your job. You don't have to recreate any of that. You've already created that mental construct, that construct of mind, and it exists for you in time and space. So we love it here. The 3 dimensions and the idea of time are a gift to us. So even though we look physical and we appear to be interacting in this world, and oh, by the way, I have some people who really get hung up about time. Every time they mention something about the past or the future, then they have to clarify, well, time's not really real and all that. It's like, stop it. Just stop that. We live in the physical world, and time is one of the elements that is a construct of this dimension. So don't pretend it's not real while you're here. Time is real. It really is happening. You have appointments. You have places to be. You have a time when you like to go to bed or a time when you like to get up. You must live in the reality of three-dimensional body, three-dimensional objects, and the illusion of time passing, of time moving in a linear direction. It only goes forward. So don't get hung up about once we are outside the 3D, once we live in an ethereal dimension, then yes, time is irrelevant. But while we're here, time is real. So don't let yourself get all caught up about time is not real and I can't talk about my future. Yes, you can. However, mind has the presence of being aware of your surroundings and bringing you back to your body. And that is the moment of now. The moment of now is eternal. It never began and it cannot end. The moment of now is infinite and eternal, just as you are in this moment right now. So don't get concerned about the difference between time, the present, and now. You see, the present is something we experience in linear time. The present is always passing. As soon as you say this moment has passed. But the fact that now exists forever in eternity makes absolutely no difference to the time you are living in, the time you are experiencing. And we are here at a beautiful, powerful time. If you are here now on Earth, it's your time. Time to create a new reality, making our world a better place for everyone. Everyone. But it starts with you. You create a reality where you are living in abundance, you are peaceful, mostly happy, and yet you are a whole being with the entire range of emotions. And we master our emotions such that we learn how to experience them, express them, and let them move. Emotion. Emotion. Energy in motion. That is your feelings. Okay, well, I've rambled on again. I've shared my stream of consciousness with you. My point is that consciousness and mind have some similar characteristics, but they are not the same thing. And from Joshua's point of view, consciousness creates all that is. And conscious awareness then notices all that is, observes it, participates in it, interacts with it. Isn't that fun? That's how beautiful the framework of our reality is. And when we live in different dimensions that are not associated with the passage of time, Then we experience more of our conscious awareness, and we're less engaged with mind. Or so it seems. All right, that's it from me today. I will be still a moment and try to bring Joshua through to the best of my ability. Hello, beloved one. It is my honor and my joy to be here speaking with you now. Yes, now. You see, I dwell in a dimension where time is irrelevant, and yet I am close to the earth and interacting with human beings all the time. So I am aware of time and how time moves in the dimension you dwell in. I am aware of physical beings with which my source energy is a part of, and that each of you live in your own time and space. Some of you are in times that, from Jordan's point of view, would be ancient or distant future. From Jordan's point of view, about the history of time on your planet. There are multiple Earths with multiple things, events, people that are in existence right now, and yet you do not see them because there is a thin veil in which you would need to pass to see these other worlds. You are able to do this, and I can assist you. However, it is not my specialty. I would ask you to call upon energies that are more inclined toward working with you in transitioning from one dimension to another, if you are interested in doing such, traveling about in astral planes and or moving to other Earths and finding out. Now, you do move to and from this Earth all the time. Sometimes you don't even recognize the shift because you've shifted into a Earth, a world that has a slight change, a bit of difference, but it's so much like where you are now that you don't really recognize you've made a shift. This is akin to a spider web, shall we say, and the spider walking across all these different layers and levels and places to experience reality. Now, I would like to take a moment to talk about consciousness that creates all that is. I do believe in one source, and that source is consciousness. And it existed in eternity, has always and ever been, and shall always and ever be present now. Consciousness is everything. It's in the visible and the invisible. Consciousness fills what you think is empty space. And empty space itself is really an illusion. Jordan was talking about the space of your body, the space between the atoms, the space between the protons and the electrons. None of them touch. You may think you are sitting upon a seat and that your very solid bottom is touching that very solid seat. It is not. The atoms never touch, but they gather, and they gather in collectives. And in these collectives, they join up in certain ways that form molecules. And then the molecules attract energy, build upon their instructions in consciousness so that they can produce perhaps a liver or a heart or whatever. These molecules do have consciousness, and they know the role they play. The cells of your body have consciousness, and they know the role they play in the body. And you may interact with these cells. You may interact in such a way that you can consciously direct changes in your cells. Although this is not taught to you at this time. However, at University, where I am a professor of oneness, we do teach cellular biology and how to interact with mitochondria. It is not a course in which I am an expert, you see. We all have our fields. Even in my non-physical dimension of existence, I have a purpose. I play a role. I choose my moment activity. Perhaps I did not say that clearly. I choose in the moment my activity. Right now, a part of my whole self is absorbed in Jordan's body so deeply that I can move his hands and arms. I can breathe for him, and then I can speak, for speaking takes breath. I am manipulating all of the muscles that allow for speech, English speech, to be created. A portion of my whole self is aware that my consciousness is operating here now with the Jordan who lives in the 21st century, the great time of awakening, the age of the planting of the seeds that will bring forth a world of peace, compassion, and abundance for all. This is the new game to be played on the world stage. And because you are here now, you are playing a role in bringing that about. I see you. I love you. Carry on with your projects, your thoughts, those people you are in communication with about, let's act and behave in a new way, bringing forth human kindness, practicing being a human kind. I think you understand me. So, I've given you plenty to consider. I am going to say, let the light grow. Let love show. Let your life be fun and always be true to you. I love you. Good day. Pardon me. Well, that was interesting. I really can't summarize what Joshua said, but just to have the honor to experience a portion of his consciousness is a blessing to my life. So with that, I'm going to say, have a great now. Bye. Thank you for listening. We hope you heard something to ponder and gained inspiration for your journey. Please join us again next time. Joshua says, let the light grow, let love show, and let your life be fun.